The text arrived at 20:17 p.m. in the middle of a Tuesday that had been aggressively ordinary. "We've decided you should step away for now." It was in the family group chat, the one titled Sunday Dinner, even though we hadn't eaten together in months. No context, no call beforehand, no attempt at privacy, just that, my mother Elaine had always preferred decisions to conversations. My sister, Brooke, preferred spectators. I stared at the message longer than I should have. I waited for the second bubble. The explanation, the softening clause. Nothing came. What did arrive 10 seconds later was a notification that Brooke had liked the message. Then, a bright confetti emoji. I felt something inside me settle instead of shatter. That surprised me. For years, I had been the quiet infrastructure of the family. Not emotionally. That was my mother's domain, though it mostly consisted of disapproval dressed up as concern. I meant practically. When they started Harper & Lane Interiors 5 years ago, it was me who helped them open their business account at the bank where I worked in Charlotte. I wasn't senior then, just a junior relationship manager who knew which forms to file and which compliance boxes to check. I told myself it was harmless. Helpful. The account grew. At its peak, the balance hovered around $285,000 during their busy season. I negotiated merchant processing rates, flagged fraud attempts, extended internal grace when a vendor payment overdrew by a day because a client check hadn't cleared yet. I never mentioned that my professional credibility was attached to that account. And now, without discussion, I was being asked to step away. I typed carefully. "I'll respect that and step away from the family entirely." I read it twice. It sounded calm, not defensive, not pleading. Brooke liked that message too. Another confetti emoji. The rest of my workday passed in the muted way shock sometimes does. I attended a credit review meeting. I approved a small business line increase for a bakery in Asheville. I answered emails. At 40:42 p.m. I opened the Harper & Lane account profile. It sat under my portfolio. Clean history, healthy balance. Moderate ACH volume. Payroll scheduled for Friday. There is a line in our internal policy manual about conflicts of interest. It isn't dramatic. It simply states that employees should not maintain direct oversight of accounts where personal relationships could impair judgment. I had bent that line for years under the banner of family loyalty. Now, I read it differently. At 3 p.m., I drafted an internal memo to compliance. Due to a change in personal circumstances, I need to remove myself from the Harper & Lane Interiors relationship immediately. I believe continued oversight presents a potential conflict of interest. I didn't request closure. I simply flagged the conflict. Compliance is not sentimental. It is procedural. At 6:11 p.m., I received a call from Martin Reeves, our corporate compliance officer. "Claire," he said evenly, "if you're declaring a conflict and there's no alternative relationship manager immediately available, the cleanest path may be account termination. Are you comfortable with that?" Comfortable wasn't the word. "Whatever aligns with policy," I said. He paused. "Once we send notice, they'll have 72 hours. Funds will be issued via cashier's check unless they establish another receiving institution." "I understand." The email went out at 6:37 p.m. Formal. Neutral. Signed by compliance. Due to an internal conflict of interest review, Harper & Lane Interiors business accounts will be closed within 72 hours. Please contact. Authority is unmistakable when it arrives in letterhead and deadlines. My phone started lighting up at 7:02. First Brooke. "What is this?" Then my mother. "Is this some kind of mistake?" "Payroll is Friday." I didn't answer immediately. Leftover pasta. I poured a glass of water. I let the messages stack without opening them. Finally, I responded in the group chat. Compliance identified a conflict. The account is being closed per policy. I recommend contacting First Carolina Bank or Piedmont Commercial. They both have strong small business teams. It was professional, informational. Brooke called. I declined. Another message. "You can't do this to us." I stared at the word "do." I hadn't done anything outside policy. I hadn't fabricated fees. I hadn't frozen funds. I had removed myself from a position that required trust on both sides. My mother called next. I let it ring at once, then answered. Her voice was tight. "Claire, this is extreme. You asked me to step away. Not like this." "How did you mean it?" Silence. The kind that isn't reflective, just irritated. "We meant from Family Matters." "From drama." I almost laughed at the word drama. I had been the least dramatic person in that chat for years. "I am stepping away." I said quietly. Entirely. Payroll. Martin's contact information is in the email. He can walk you through next steps. You could fix this. I considered that. I could probably call Martin, ask for a reassign of closure. Leverage goodwill. Bend the line again. But something about the confetti emoji had clarified the landscape. I won't, I said. She didn't yell. That would have been easier. She exhaled sharply, as if I had inconvenienced her. This is unnecessary. No, I replied, and I meant it. It's overdue. When we hung up, the phone kept lighting up for another hour. Questions. Frustration. A final message from Brooke. Wow. Nothing more. By morning, the messages had slowed. I received one short email from my mother. We'll handle it. No apology. No gratitude for the years I'd buffered risk. But also no confetti. At work, Martin stopped by my office. Everything settled? He asked. Yes. He nodded. Clean boundaries protect everyone. That was all. On Friday, I saw in the system that the cashier's check had been issued. The relationship was marked closed. The house I grew up in still stands in Raleigh. Sunday dinner will likely resume without me. Harper Lane will find another bank. They might even thrive. I don't feel victorious. There was no celebration, no sense of conquest, just a steadiness. They asked me to step away. For the first time I did.